Yeah.
Okay, welcome everyone. We are live on YouTube, and this is the Cosmic Starseed Academy. We've we've this is the Wednesday group that we normally won't be going live with on the Wednesdays, but maybe afterwards we will. So that will be nice. But we wanted to come on to the YouTube live and just talk about some of the stuff, anything that, just kind of a group discussion and be able to take questions as well. So these are the Wednesday group, the Cosmic Starseed Academy Ascension and Starseed Bootcamp. And you're welcome to come and join us. So let's see who would like to start. Dennis?
Okay. You asked me about Trump, and I don't want to say too much about it, but I will say that I have lost a lot of trust in Trump because I think his decision making with the Middle East is disastrous, and the disaster hasn't even begun to show itself yet. And I expect that to become a global mess. But importantly, I have not lost trust or hope in humanity, and I have not uh, lost in any way my trust and hope in Source. So, that's these things are much more important and key. That's all I want to say about it.
So can you bring us up to date a little bit on, for those of us that have not heard what Trump is doing?
Well, that is a curious question. Who do you think is living under a rock that doesn't know what Trump is doing at the moment? He's choosing to support uh, the genocidal nation of Israel in carrying out an attack on Iran uh, for its it's a danger of having a nuclear weapon, which isn't certain that they are close to that at all. We already had the same situation with Iraq of weapons of mass destruction, and that was clearly shown to be complete lies and untruth, and it was known before that invasion and huge destruction. And so, in attacking Iran, in taking out its uh, political and religious leader, in in a state.
I think we lost you, Dennis. Are you still there, Den? Hello? If anyone can hear me, can you raise your hand? Okay. Okay, so um we'll wait to see if Dennis is able to come back, and I'll just check the YouTube. Let's have a look. So is there anything you guys would like to share?
Well, I have to agree with Dennis. I'm sorry, but I'm very disappointed. I had high hopes, but the stuff I'm hearing lately, I want to know about the whole thing about Venezuela, and now he took out the Iran leader. Um, and that's big stuff. That's not small stuff. But now the thing with the Iran and Israel could start bombing each other. So Russia's on Iran's side. And so this Russia's already sending drones in, and I've heard other stuff. I pray to God this is not going to end up as a global catastrophe or even nuclear war. But let's say, but I have faith in our ET friends that they won't let that happen. But it's like we're going to go back in the Cold War days. And, like, I'm very shocked, but I'm sorry to say, but he is right, and I agree with him.
I have something to add.
Okay.
The British have been in control of all the Ayatollahs of Iran since 1908. They have installed every single Ayatollah since then. So it's the British that are controlling the regime in Iran. Removing the Ayatollah might have been a way to relieve Iran from British control. But what is interesting is that the British is also in control of Israel and also in control of the US military. So if in our names, in the name of the US military, Iran is being attacked, then it's the British that are attacking Iran. Uh, does that attack come concurrent with the removal of the Ayatollah? Did it start after the removal of the Ayatollah? I don't know the sequence of events that well, but we all have to keep in mind that this is the British Empire working against the people of the world.
Oh, sorry, you lost. And I don't know how, when, or I don't know why. Hello?
Hello.
Welcome back, Dennis.
Yes, welcome back, Dennis.
I'm sorry I disappeared there.
Yes, you should be very sorry.
Hmm. So where did I lose you?
I actually can't remember. Anyone?
He was talking about um, the global conflict and what Trump's done. Dennis, what you were saying earlier, I just told Soma that I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Hmm.
Definitely. But you were talking about the global conflict,
Yeah.
Russia,
And
around that
so,
type. Yeah.
Trump is has communicated publicly his willingness to destroy the energy infrastructures of the nation of Iran, which has a landmass equal to the size of Western Europe. It's got a population of more than 90 million, and that's a willingness to deprive that nation of its ability to have power, have electricity, have gas, and it will also destroy the salination plants, the absolutely essential plants that are needed to provide, something like 30 or 40% of the water that the nation needs. So there is a crime against a civilian population. It is an absolute horrendous and injustifiable action. And when he does that, then Iran are going to be willing to destroy the salination plants of the Gulf. And the Gulf nations, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, all of these nations in the Gulf, they're desert. And these nations are getting between 70 and 95% of their water from plants that use a lot of energy. They use a lot of oil or gas to get their drinking water from seawater. It takes a lot of energy to do that. And so, there he is willing to destroy a nation of Iran, which there's a tremendous evil in that. And then Iran would likely counteract that by just destroying energy sources in the Gulf, which would put them out of action for at least a decade if they were successful, and they might well be. And then destroy their salination plants. And then that would be a catastrophic human disaster. There is no agency that could save those nations and those peoples. And then we haven't looked at what's that going to do to currencies and recession that will be experienced throughout the world. America will be will be affected to some degree, but Europe will be in a much worse situation. Africa will even be in a far worse situation again. And then, as that war develops, it's quite likely the Houthis will close the Suez Canal. So that won't be just a stop on oil, it'll be a stop on trade. So without bringing Russia or China into it, without looking at nuclear options and the threat of Israel using a nuclear weapon, and there's no trusting what Israel will do, the thing is very, very ugly. So I don't see any escape from that. But then, maybe that is Trump's role, to be.
So, Dennis, I'm sorry to interrupt you, darling. I have a couple of questions. What do you think has happened to Trump? And I want to add something really important, that it's important to listen to each other's opinion without judgment. So I have a couple of questions, Dennis. What do you think has happened to Trump? And the second question is, I mean, when I'm asking that, what I mean is, do you think he's been taken out? Do you think he's been cloned? Do you think he's been blackmailed? Do you think he's still a good guy? And my second question is, there are reports of a Stargate in Iran, and that is what part of what the war is really about in terms of the bigger picture. So those are two questions I have for you.
Well, a couple of I've answered this before, and I've answered it in the group. Whether Trump is good or bad is at this point irrelevant.
But I want to know what you think of Trump now. Like, do you think he's been taken out? Do you think he's a clone? Do you think he's been blackmailed?
Well, there are different levels that this can be seen, particularly when one has an understanding of the cabal that has existed for so long, when one has an understanding that there quite likely is a white hat, a positive alliance, which is trying to balance this. And I think it is reasonable to assume that there is a conflict between good and evil in it. And for so long, and many of us trusted that Trump was very involved with the alliance or the white hats.
Yeah, but the divide, darling, that is growing more than ever, especially with Trump now and the war, and the divide is growing.
Yeah. Well,
but okay,
as I
so
said, I think it's
the first question, Dennis, is, do you think Trump is a clone, or he's been taken out, or he's been blackmailed? Because it seems to be, or that, or would you, because my opinion is, well, I'm not going to say what my opinion is, you know what my opinion is, but the other option is that there's a bigger picture going on at play and we don't know what it is. So there's the kind of four.
Indeed. Well, you see, it's an interesting question, but it is a bit academic. It is a bit coffee table-ish. It's a bit irrelevant. You see, so these different options are all possible. That he is good and he's operating on some deeper level with deeper motivations that we don't know, that he is actually bad, that he was good and he's being compromised, that he's good, or that he's got bad intelligence or bad information. All these things are possible, and I am not making a decision on any of them. But what I am able to see is that this course of action is tremendously destructive to the whole planet. And that hasn't become manifest yet, but I predict that it will be so, and I don't understand why it is there. I'm not happy with that choice, so that's all I can say about it. But this is the reality that we are dealing with. This is what is happening on this 3D playground of life. And so that presents us the challenge of holding hope in this environment, of not being overcome by fear, of managing to continue to live with hope and compassion, and contribute to creating the world that we want, despite this mayhem and chaos which Trump seems to be bringing the world into. And we all expected this, I think. We all understood that there are systems that are tremendously outdated, that they are very flawed, that they are anti-human, that they don't be it political, economic, uh, uh, logistics. There are lots of systems that need um, doing away with, and we expected that, but it is a surprise that we find this being brought down by someone we trusted to be on the side of the good or side of the light. That is disappointing, because I just see it being a mess. And if somehow Trump is able to come out of this without uh, creating massive loss of lives, if he is able to do that, then that's wonderful. And then I'm wrong, and I'll be so delighted to be wrong. But I don't see that. So US are planning to put some thousands, some 5,000 Marines into Iran. I don't think they will last there long. That is just going to be a loss, you know. So we will see.
Thank you for sharing that.
Fine.
Would anyone else like to share?
After having heard Dennis say that, I just want to reiterate that as far as I'm aware, the British are still in control of what is called the U.S. military. And I'm hearing that there are more and more American soldiers who are refusing to comply with orders to go to foreign countries and commit violent acts when they don't see how it's protective of the United States of America. The Americans are being, it's like a false flag, the British are flying the American flag, and Americans get blamed, more or less, for the actions undertaken on behalf of the British Empire. The last I heard, the U.S. military is still paid by a British paymaster called Serco, Serco. And I was saying, Janice, while you were disconnected from us, that the British have controlled the Iranian regime since 1908. They've installed all of the Ayatollahs. So when Trump, if he's the one who did this, removed the Ayatollah, he was removing British control over Iran. And in that sense, he would have been liberating the Iranian people to put into place their own choice for president. I have heard, the flip side of the coin on this Iranian situation is that the Iranians don't support the Ayatollahs. They are, they have lost a great deal of freedom under the regimes of the Ayatollahs. And women's lives have certainly been badly affected. So I don't know. I don't know. That's the other side of the coin. It's very hard to know unless you're there on the ground where the truth truly is.
Yes. And I, like you, Emily, I follow the news site Promethean Action, and I have a lot of trust in their presentation of the facts behind the story, and I agree that the cabal and English elites are very strongly behind the Iranian uh, state very strongly. But even so, even with that understanding, which a lot of people wouldn't get or would disagree with, I don't see there a justification for this uh, war game that he's gone into. I don't see the gain
Well,
equally.
once again, Donald Trump is the CEO of a British corporation acting under the name of the United States. But it's an LLC. It's USA LLC or United States of America LLC. He's president of a corporation, and his as such, unless Donald Trump, the commander in chief, is acting under a military operation, which, as I said before, could still be British. Then, as the president, so-called president of the USA Incorporated, he is the CEO of a British corporation. He's not representing the American people or the country that we think of as represented by the 50 contiguous states in that geographical, shape we're all familiar with. So we just, and I would like to add one more thing too. There's a content creator on YouTube who says that there are no nuclear weapons. Apparently, it's been proven that there are no nuclear weapons, that they're just using TNT, and that we're all being, we're all being fear-mongered against in the name of nuclear weapons. So, excuse me. Sorry.
It's okay. It happens. Jennifer, while Emily's on the phone, would you like to share anything?
Not really. No, I mean, I'm absorbing it. It's like on one hand, I feel a certain way about it, but on the other hand, what I call my human brain and what I'm logically seeing and hearing, it goes another way. So I'm kind of torn in figuring out what the disconnect is for me. Just is like there's that part of me that feels a certain way about Trump, but his actions aren't aligning with it unless there's a whole other
Yes.
thing on that I don't understand that hasn't been made clear. I mean, there has been the thing that's always been said that it's going to get significantly worse in the world before it gets better. But yeah, I don't really have anything to add. I'm just absorbing.
Yeah. And I'm still in the space of observing what's going on, and I can do that. I can kind of be in that observing space till the cows come home, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Or maybe it's just a neutral thing energy that I kind of step into. Neutrality. But I guess we will see what happens. There's a famous saying that keeps coming to me since 2019 with the whole COVID pandemic thing. And I can't remember what famous book or movie it's from, but the quote sentence is, I think it was Emily Bronte maybe, but the quote, the sentence is, it was the worst of times and it was the best of times. And I kind of feel like that since 2019, since the COVID pandemic. And I'm really actually wanting to go and get a few beers of COVID. Some COVID beers. I think that's what they were called. And just sit back and chill and just kind of
Corona beers.
That's what I said.
Oh,
That is what I said. Corona. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Just to sit back and um kind of bliss out. Just in a beautiful energy and not be worried, because there is a divine plan. When we're not here for nothing. And I know love wins. And I know there's some tough times ahead. And I keep seeing these funny, or at least I find them funny, but then I've got a very kind of dark sense of humor. I keep seeing these Barbie chronicles on TikTok and social media where she just looks a bit crazy and she's smiling and very happy. And behind her, everything is just on fire and crumbling and burning away. And sometimes I actually kind of feel like that. So anyway, that's just kind of my dark sense of humor. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it an evening unless anyone else has anything they'd like to share. I'd like to invite everyone listening, everyone who's here now, everyone that's on YouTube now and in the future, in both places, to come and join us on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And you can check out the details on my website, selmaara.love, and you can see the page there, Cosmic Starseed Academy. Okay, guys, is there anything that anyone would like to share before we go? Oh, before we go, there's a woman called Dennis. This is for you. There's a woman called Sile Cola in YouTube who says hello.
lovely.
And oh, hold on, darling. She's asking about yes, Psychola, who I've known for quite a while, quite a few years. She says, has Dennis done the We Are All One prayer yet? So yes, Psychola, he has.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm not sure who this is for, but Tiffany Marie says, look up Tucker Carlson's interview with Joe Kent on Iran. You got some fans here, darling.
Yeah, that Tucker interview is an interesting one. Yeah. Yeah. Kent is a veteran who was on a government position in the Department of War, and he resigned because he was against the actions that the US were taking. He saw an undue influence by Israel, and he saw that this was not an action that benefited America, benefiting Israel. Yeah, it's a good interview.
Hey guys, I am going to go and have some lovely food and chill
Just a
out.
couple of things. One
Sorry, go
is
ahead.
Silcola, probably mispronounced her name. She has been on the YouTube, has connected to the group on a number of evenings. And I wonder why doesn't she just come directly into the Zoom group?
I was
where
wondering the same thing.
there is more direct communication there, and one misses, or one there's so much more that happens that hasn't been. This is only a tiny fragment that got shared on YouTube. Fine. And then the second thing is, I don't know why you don't share to the public that it's the Saturday and Sunday ones, that there is no cost or subscription, that those to join those groupings are free any week. But the other evenings, is it Wednesday and Friday or whatever, that you do ask for a donation, or there is a subscription required?
Yeah, I do share. So for those listening now and in the future, there are 4 groups or 4 sessions. The Saturday and Sunday are free, and you can subscribe to Substack Soma Ara to be sent details about those, or you can email me at thepleiadianchild@hotmail.com. All details are on my website, somaara.love, Cosmic Starseed Academy page. And the Wednesday and Friday groups have different
I gotta
oh,
leave.
oh. Okay, so the Wednesday and Friday groups bring in different teachings from the Pleiadians. Wednesday is the Ascension Starseed Bootcamp, and the Friday is what's really going on now, and it's about different current events as we move forward, whatever they may be, and channelings on those events or people from the Pleiadians. Both of those groups, you need to be either subscribed to one or the other to get the other one. And both of them are for a minimal cost, which is €7.77. So €7.77 to subscribe to the Substack. And you get a whole load of other benefits as well. And you can check those out on my Substack, Soma Ara. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, guys, I'm going to end our session this evening, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. I love you guys, and I shall see you soon. Okay, guys, I'm going to go and make some food.
Okay, so
Oh, let me just end the live stream as well.